I think one notable thing around the spot price this year is we've seen an increased participation of the utilities in the spot market. They're not willing. There's a bit of a standoff, as we know, between the utilities and the producers around flex pricing and who's willing to accept what price. So I speak to fuel buyers quite often, and definitely what you hear from them is that they're kicking the can down the road to a certain extent of buying their fuel. So they're participating in the spot market through carry trades, and then picking up other sources of secondary supply.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Triangle Investor Interviews. I'm your host Lucian Valkovic, and before I announce my guest, just a quick reminder of a disclaimer. This interview and all my interviews are not a recommendation to buy or sell any shares, products, or services. Always do your due diligence and consult with your financial advisor. I am joined today by Crispin Clarke, advisor to Curzon Uranium and Uranium.io. Thank you so much for joining me today, and welcome back, Crispin.
Thank you very much, Lucia. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, my pleasure. You were in my show, similar to our last conversation, the last show. I would like to start by asking you to share your perspective on the current dynamics shaping the uranium market. How do you view developments in both spot and term markets?
Yeah, I think since the last time I had the opportunity to speak with you, Lucian, my opinion is the investment thesis is even stronger than it was, earlier in the year. And I think there's a number of factors that are kind of contributing to that. Why it's stronger. And I think, essentially, what I believe is we're in a commodity super cycle. So if you just look at the price of gold and silver and other commodities this year, there's no question they've been on a tear. You can't say the same thing around spot and term uranium, but if you look at the uranium mining equities, they've been on a tear as well. You just have to look at UEC or Cameco. So I do believe, we are in a commodity super cycle. And I think just some data that I like to review myself and kind of share when I speak with people around, and I kind of typically start on the demand side, because that's where we hear most of the news around, what's the demand for uranium, what's the demand for nuclear power. And just some of the statistics that I've been kind of reviewing and hearing about, it's just you just see a tremendous growth of nuclear power. So I know maybe some of your other guests have mentioned it, but 70 new nuclear reactors are being built right now. Maybe it's 71. One may have been added today, in fact. And then just restarts, like 1 in 5 nuclear reactors around the world are being restarted. So a tremendous move towards new demand for the nuclear cycle. And then just some stats around kind of what that growth is doing, places like China. So China has added something like 430 gigawatts of power in the last 12 months, which is just mind-boggling to think. It's not all nuclear, it's other sources as well, of course, but just, the kind of the super cycle we're in, electricity, power is really becoming politically, for governments, the key thing. So, we hear about AI data centers, we hear about the growth of power, but there's no question today that we're in this cycle where governments have to have a very solid energy security and energy addition policy. So yeah, look at what's happening in China. The US are trying to keep up with that. They've added about 40 gigawatts of power in the last 12 months. So, but they've got tremendous plans, and obviously we've seen the executive orders to grow that. The other thing we've seen is the strategic stockpiles. So I think, recent news around India,
Yeah.
stockpiling uranium, obviously the Chinese in the past. That's a net new buyer really of the fuels in the fuel cycle, which is adding obviously onto the kind of the overall demand. So over in kind of on the demand side, no question that is very, very robust, the best it's ever been in the industry.
Yes.
And
That.
then added to that on the supply side, continued pressure on Cameco, the Kazakhs, to produce to the amount that they said they're going to produce. So there's some they're having some issues to meet their production guidance that they've had in the past. So that's this kind of some risk on the supply side, and obviously kind of near term, long term, the new mines that need to come online, like next gen, there's risk there. That they haven't produced any pounds yet. Material is still in the ground. They haven't been licensed yet, or they're not fully licensed. So there's still risk there. So overall, the picture very, very positive. If you look at kind of just quickly on the spot market, the term market, spot market's been pretty flat this year. But where the buyers have been, the utilities buying, we've seen an increase in the term price. I think one notable thing around the spot price this year is we've seen an increased participation of the utilities in the spot market. They're not willing. There's a bit of a standoff, as we know, between the utilities and the producers around flex pricing and who's willing to accept what price. So I speak to fuel buyers quite often, and definitely what you hear from them is that they're kicking the can down the road to a certain extent of buying their fuel. So they're participating in the spot market through carry trades, and then picking up other sources of secondary supply. So anyway, overall picture very, very rosy, and I do believe that we're in a commodity super cycle that's going to last a number of years.
Yeah, agreed. Great breakdown on supply and demand side. So thank you for this. Crispin, December 3rd marked 1 year of the launch of the project XU308 slash uranium.io.
Yeah.
As an advisor, how would you reflect on this first year? What key milestones, learnings, or insights stand out here?
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, listen, it's been a tremendous and very rewarding career to see. A very year, I should say, not career,
Yeah.
year. It's been tremendous learnings that we've had, and to kind of launch this platform into the market. We've received such positive feedback. I know the team were at the WNA in September in London, and they got tremendous positive feedback on the overall platform. I think to me that there's a couple of key things: is owning uranium, the material digitally, is really changing the industry. If you kind of look at how it happens today, it really is stuck in using old technology, and the way that the platform that you can purchase, you can buy and sell uranium effectively in real time with no counterparty risk. It's mind-boggling. The changes that it is enabling is just incredible. So I think that's the key thing, to put the market onto these new digital rails, is enabling all this other functionality. So I think a couple of key things there. And related to that is the spot price. So with the spot, the real-time price, incredible innovation that
Yes.
Trilitech have launched, and great feedback we've received across the industry to have that, because what that enables is other new products that can be launched, derivatives, options. That's something that's been lacking in the industry, and that innovation is changing the industry. So it's great, kind of very rewarding to see kind of what's happening with the platform and kind of what the plans are for 2026 and beyond.
Yeah, that's a really game changer when it comes to the spot price tracking of the price of spot.
Yeah,
I see a lot of people using that. I believe that you are getting the feedback that a lot of business partners are using probably this platform as
definitely.
well.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
By the way, recently Uranium IO announced the option for others to tokenize their physical uranium inventory on the platform and have already
that's right.
converted some of the physical uranium to XU308 token for major.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. What do
Yeah.
you think of this extended offering, and what might this unlock in the
Yeah.
for the industry?
Again, it's another game changer for the nuclear fuel cycle. As we know, the fuel cycle, there's stockpiles, there's inventory held in, converters around the world, and this inventory moves between converters, within converters to enrichment facilities. So there's a lot of, there's stockpiles and, there's physical inventory around the world. So what we can do now is, whether you're a miner or a utility or an intermediary, we can tokenize that physical uranium. So what does that enable? It allows for, well, if you're a miner, let's kind of review, like if you're a mining company, if you're a small mining company, how do you effectively sell and get revenue for your mine? You have an offtake agreement typically with an intermediary. Now, with this facility, that mining company can tokenize their inventory as it comes out of the ground, and they can sell it when they want to. They can basically generate a revenue stream from the physical, rather than doing that through an offtake agreement. So it's kind of net new and very positive for the mines. If you're an intermediary, um, you might have an odd lot size, as we know, like the spot market trades in 100,000 physical pound clips. If you have an odd lot size and you want to monetize that, or you want to generate a borrow against it, again, you can tokenize it using the platform. Um, and then you can actually generate some revenue from that physical product. And then lastly, on the utilities side, if you're sitting on some stockpile, again, you can tokenize it. On the platform, and then you can borrow against that inventory. So rather than being a cost for storage, you can actually generate a yield from holding the physical. So, amazing innovation, and I think it's going to be a game changer for the industry.
Yeah, yeah. How has your experience been working with both Curzon Uranium and Uranium.io team to achieve the different milestones you achieved?
Yeah, so I think it's been incredible. So, to change an industry and to provide uh, a platform that will fundamentally change how uranium and other commodities will are traded. It takes a lot of different expertise. So working with the team, with the Curzon Uranium team, we got tremendous knowledge about the fuel cycle from Trilitech, tremendous technology that they have, and a great implementation team to build out the product. And then lastly, as you know, we work very closely with Archax. They're the tokenizer. They're the regulated custodian. So they provide that knowledge exchange, custodian expertise. So it's really been a way to bring all those experts together in a meaningful way, to build out this platform. So it's been a huge team effort to build it out. Say it's been live for a year now, or just over a year,
Yeah,
and we've made amazing strides, really positive strides.
yeah, excellent. Beyond uranium, do you see any other commodities, assets, or processes within the nuclear or broader ecosystem that could benefit from tokenization?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do believe that tokenization will change the financial services industry. I do believe that. So, commodities are a good use case, as I like to say, for tokenization. So I think it is going to fundamentally change everything. And you think, well, why is that? I mean, what does tokenization really offer? Kind of at the high level, it really is a bridge between traditional finance and digital rails. So um, so how do you kind of interact with both those communities? It's really by doing the bridge between them. So tokenization offers that. Kind of at a more granular level, tokenization allows this concept of, fractional ownership. If you think about many commodities markets or actually, real estate or other markets, they haven't been available to a huge pool of investors because the minimum size is too high, or it's just not possible. So tokenization really opens up this concept of fractionalization. So I believe it's going to change everything. I mean, and related to that is really kind of the what I would say, like the extendability. Once you've got a product on digital rails, it's very easy to add, DeFi protocol, I put it onto exchange. So it provides a very good platform for building out like a whole ecosystem around it. So yes, it's going to change the commodities markets. It's going to change the nuclear fuel cycle because obviously the fuel cycle involves other not just spot uranium, but rich uranium. So it will change that. But yeah, generally, I think it's going to tokenization is going to change everything.
Yeah. Crispin, looking ahead, what's next for uranium.io? Are there any developments or directions you're personally excited to see unfold? Any new surprises like spot price?
Yeah. I think there's some very exciting stuff coming. The two, I guess, kind of generally the thing I'm excited about is the platform is in place. It's proven now that we can list on exchange very quickly. We added the borrowing protocol, so it's very what I would call extendable. Like the platform, the technical platform, the legal platform it's very robust, and we've achieved that level of sophistication and durability that it's ready, so we can extend it very easily, very quickly. And when I say extend it, we can extend it to other commodities. So we watch this space, other commodities coming onto the platform, kind of Q1 next year. So I'm very excited about that, like seeing that growth and extendability. And then the second thing is the kind of enabling the loan and lease of commodities. It is a big part. The way it happens today in commodities is it's very hard. It's done with paper contracts, and it's very hard. On these digital rails, it's easy. So I'm personally excited about growing that side of the industry. Because it's very relevant in the nuclear fuel cycle, but obviously in other commodities as well. So yeah, that's kind of a personal area that I'm very excited about.
Yeah. For institutions or individuals interested in participating, where should they go to learn more or gain access to XU308?
Yeah, so lots of information. Uranium.io, if they haven't been there, I'd recommend you go there. You can go and you can go and sell some uranium. But it really is now a conduit of information as well. So you can see real-time pricing, you can see news information. So it's a very robust and a very platform with a lot of, if you're interested to learn more about nuclear fuel cycle and uranium. You can reach out directly to the team, very responsive, the team at Trilitech. Lastly, if you are on X, we do have, we are on X, so we post a lot of information on X around the XU308.
Yeah, maybe we should address the process once again for my audience. I have, let's say, $500. I want to invest
Yes.
in XU308. How can I do it?
Very easy. So very easy. You have to go and register on uranium.io. So if you already have your $500 in USDC in a wallet, you can just attach that wallet to the uranium.io. The wallet will see, or the platform will see that you've got those funds, and then you can go and execute a trade. You go and buy $500 worth of uranium. If you don't have any USDC, then you can, again, you just go onto uranium.io. You can go, we have a partner Transact where you can use a credit card or Apple Pay or whatever you want to do in fiat to convert fiat into USDC, fund the wallet. And as soon as you've funded the wallet, then you can go and buy uranium. We have smart KYC. So for most investors, most users, there's no KYC process that you have to go through. Obviously, we have restricted countries where it's not the case.
Yeah.
But for most people, it's as simple as that. It should take you less than 5 minutes if you only have fiat to actually go and execute transaction, buy USDC, and then buy some uranium. Very, very easy.
Yeah, sounds easy and not too complicated.
Easy. Yes, we wanted to make it extremely easy like that. Absolutely.
Excellent. That was Crispin Clarke, advisor to Curzon Uranium and Uranium.io. Crispin, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you, Lucia. Thanks for having me again.